it just to make sure we're streaming here. Preparing to live stream the meeting. One of these days I'll get it figured out so that we can live stream into the Facebook group again. Just make sure we're streaming here. All right, mute there. Looks like we are good on that. Let's record. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's that time. Your crazy, bald, white, energetic person that loves Mondays is here. It is time for our Monday Mastermind. So if you've never been here before, hello. First off, hello and welcome. Hi, Jackie. Appreciate you popping in. This is our Monday Mastermind that we have through our group, The Lost Transition. The Lost Transition was something that I created roughly about 3 years ago, I want to say. And in essence, it's just a group, if you will, a collaboration place that we can meet. And the overall goal and objective is to help those people that want to become more financially independent, working in the online arena, working from home in essence is what we're talking about, to be able to thrive in the network marketing arena and go from what we like to call the job to freedom, right? And when I talk about freedom, in essence, what I'm talking about is time freedom that allows you to live life on your terms, to go to sleep when you're tired, to wake up when you're rested, to determine how your day is going to come out, to what is it that you're going to do for your day, right? So that's what we do here every Monday we meet. Part of this is so that we can kind of forget about what might have happened last week, but we do want to celebrate those wins. And then we have a little bit of a discussion, a topic that will get you thinking, and we open it up for the input from you guys as well. Ultimately, the goal is to provide a massive amount of value every single Monday so that it energizes you guys and charges you up so that you have a direction, if nothing else, and you know what to do for this particular week. So, that being said, welcome, welcome. Those of you watching on the replay, or if you're watching live on YouTube, you can join us live in the Zoom room by going to thelosttransition.com/live. So 12 o'clock every Monday, without fail, rain, sleet, shine, holidays, doesn't matter. Okay. Been doing this for a little bit over 2 years, and we'd like to start off with the wins from those people that are in the audience, right? So I don't know how you guys' week was last week. I know it was Christmas. Hopefully we can celebrate maybe even some Christmas wins. Maybe you had family that came in that you hadn't seen in forever or something like that. But let's start off the program with celebrating some wins. Anybody got some wins from last week they want to share? And then I got some fun to talk to you guys about
I'll
motivation.
share.
Please do. Go ahead, Vicky.
We had a decent Christmas. Got to see some people I haven't seen in a while. That was I'm grateful for. I've been mostly working like crazy, and I'm feeling like I'm making really good progress on my now sites, pages and everything, and I've been getting lots of leads and I've been doing lots of follow up. So I'm very much like overwhelmed at this moment and can't wait to finally get everything into the now site so it helps me to better organize and everything. So, but it's going good and I'm excited and it's just showing me that 2025, I feel like every fiber of my being says 2025 is going to be the best year
I
ever.
can see that.
So
I
I'm
can see
looking
that.
forward to it.
Congrats, congrats. And getting leads, that's no small feat, right? For those of you guys that might be new here, two of the biggest things that we had to solve in the entrepreneurial space is leads and cash flow. And if you're not a bank, you're not giving out loans. You got to learn how to get leads, right? So kudos, Vicky, that you got that portion figured out. Really excited for you. I know we had tragedy happen with your computer, and thank God you had got backup. You got all that fixed. So we know because you've been part of the community for a while that you've gone through quite a bit of challenges and adversity. So kudos to you and hats off to you for making it through those challenges because realistically, like we're all going to go through something, right? What really matters is
Well,
how we act, not how we react, but how we act to those specific things. So kudos to you, girl. Really
well,
proud of
that
you.
in itself is amazing alone. I mean, because this time last year, I couldn't walk, talk, sit, stand, do anything by myself independently. So I have made miles and miles of product progress health wise. So I
And
am grateful for every blessing and just keeping on pushing forward. But now
yeah,
I have the energy and stamina to do it way better like I used
yeah,
to.
and you're learning tons from being on the team coaching and stuff. And I see you
Oh, I
implementing.
love the team coaching. Yes.
I love the way that everything's working out for you, girl. That's awesome. Congrats.
Mhm.
Kudos. Just keep moving forward, girl, day by day. Day by day. Good job, girl. Who else
Thank
wants to
you.
share?
I
Any
think
other wins?
Keisha can go and I'll go last.
You like the way she did that?
I'm wondering why you volunteering me, man. No,
Can you
I
see the
actually I had a great Christmas. Actually, this was one of the first meals that had the fewest. This meal had the fewest mishaps.
Oh,
But
that's right. I remember you talking about
yeah,
missing.
but mishaps is half the fun. But yeah, this one had the fewest mishaps. We did most of the stuff Christmas Eve, so Christmas Day went off without a hitch, and then we did our vision boards and we did our garden planning because that's part of what we're doing this year is we're each in each of the houses we're each going to be growing some stuff so that all in all as a
Yeah.
group we have pretty much everything we need so no good stuff not that good stuff the other good stuff the healthy
Who
stuff.
said that's not good stuff anyway?
True statement. I'm not knocking it. I'm not knocking it at all. um but the herb garden is not in my house.
Right on.
All right. And then I was working on a website for a client, and for some reason, everything that I was working on was just kind of falling into place one after the other. So I got weeks worth of work done in days. So,
Nice. That's kind of nice to be able to do, especially if you're using Nowsite, right?
yes, I'm using Nowsite and I'm using Nowsite, Canva, and a couple of video generation apps that I use,
Right on.
um, which still comes back to Canva to put
Cool.
on their watermarks and stuff like that. So it's branded to them.
Hey, and
So
on that, I want to mention too, because it was brought up at the last meeting that I was in. If you do have the AI video through Nowsite, I'm not sure if you guys are aware of this, but you can request multiple videos. So I did that the last couple of times. I asked for three. Here's the topic. This is what I wanted. And I just got mine back yesterday, the first three, or actually the second set of three. And then before that, I ordered three. So
yeah,
just a note to self out there, right? So if you have that, you can order
yeah. I
multiples.
don't have that because I create
Yep.
videos a
Right.
lot,
Mhm.
um, and I change my mind a lot. So
Yeah, totally, totally. I'm just
so it's
saying for
hard to
those
have
that have
somebody
it, you
else
do
do
have,
it.
yeah, you do have the ability though, is what I'm getting at. Because
Yeah,
I was
understood.
finding it very difficult for me to get seven, much less 14 or 15, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
but before they did tell us that we could only do one at a time.
right.
Now that I'm glad they've changed it so that they can request multiple if you know what you want it on.
Yeah.
So
Be
m-
specific, obviously, you know.
yeah, so I use my own avatar to create some of my videos. So
Cool.
I'm actually the one narrating the videos.
Beautiful.
So that's actually been kind of fun.
Good stuff. Congrats.
So
I love the fact that you guys do the vision boards as a family. I think that that's really awesome.
yeah,
Kudos.
it's actually myself, my daughter, her in-laws. We all get together and do a
I
vision
think
board.
that's so cool. That's so cool.
Mhm.
Love to hear more about that as we move into January and the new weeks and stuff coming. Love to hear the progress.
Okay, cool.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing.
No problem.
Great, Rita. If anybody else got anything they want to share? Don't be scared. We won't buy it. No? Go ahead, Rita.
Okay, mine is more on the social media side. So I had 174% increase in performance over the
Ooh,
last 28 days, which was a
nice.
6.3 thousand increase. So I was excited about that. And also 152% increase in 3-second videos.
Real quick, what do you equate that to? What is that increase to?
The increase is due to, hold on, let me get social proof,
Okay.
I believe, and also increasing friends, so to speak. So
What
between,
does it mean by 3-second videos? Do you know?
so when you've got the videos that play for 3 second, at least for 3 seconds, they've held it,
Huh.
then they give you an increase for that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Go on.
And that was over the past 28 days. So that was a good thing because I really wasn't working real hard on that, but I'm trying to get those up because I know I'm trying to move up my followers to hit at least 2,000. I won't hit it by the end of this year. I'm at 1.7 right now. So my next goal is to get it to 2,000. So, but I was encouraged to see that what because we always ask about what do people want to see? And so every time I post about something I did, I have no idea why, but people respond to that. So that was
Huh.
exciting. Keep it moving, keep those friends going, and
Yeah.
still working on my money mastery for Munchkins, but the social media was up because at least I have the 3M project going on. So at least that's in motion and
Right.
just need to get more eyes on it.
Cool. Well, we're actually going to talk a little bit more about that, believe it or not, in
Okay,
today's program.
cool.
So I just know we are. I just know we are because of the content, what we're going to talk about. Anybody else got anything they want to share real quick? Any wins before we move into the content portion? Just want to double check. Yes? No? Going once? Going
On
twice? Go
I
ahead.
do.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if she mentioned the Facebook, I'm at 1.1K followers now, which
Right
is a
on.
huge jump from where I was
Cool.
before. Now, what I'm trying to work on is more of the engagement to bring the engagement numbers up.
Right
So
on.
that's it. That's it. So I'm
And
excited
are you
about
are
that.
you using the at followers at all when you post?
I just started on like the last four,
Cool.
adding at highlight and at followers.
Cool.
So it's working. It's working.
Don't overdo it now either, right?
I only did it on the last four, but there was a specific reason for each one that was different.
Sure.
So,
Yeah,
mhm.
makes sense. Good,
So
good.
what, like a couple times a week?
Yeah, it really depends on like you have to gauge your audience. That's the big thing, right? So try it
Hmm.
2 times a week, but don't do it any more than that, right? If
Okay.
you're just always all I see is followers, I should follow her, highlight, like again, just like anything else, you'll drown out your audience, right?
Okay.
So just be aware of that. Don't do it too often, but utilize it to the best of your advantage, for sure.
Thank you.
Oh, for sure. You're welcome. Hey, here comes Dorea. Right on. Cool, 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 cool. Well,
And welcome
welcome.
back, Jackie.
Yeah, welcome back for sure. Hi, Dorea. Thanks for popping in. Yeah, real quickly, we're going to go into the content portion of this. Dorea, do you have any wins that you'd like to share from last week? Any success stories? Good Christmas? Anything like that? You'll have to unmute if you do. Yes? No? Dorea, can you hear me? Hopefully, I'm pronouncing it right. All right. Well, we're going to move on. Okay, so check it out. Today, as I mentioned, right, this is the last week of 2024. Isn't that crazy? This is what we're calling week 48. Motivation. One of my favorite topics, actually, but we don't talk a lot about it. So today we're going to talk about it. What is it and how does it work? Part of the reason that I wanted to do this and talk about this is because obviously we're going into the new year. So I want to get geared up for the new year. I don't know about you guys, but I'm already thinking 2025, even though it's just a day away. I started thinking about 2025 probably around the middle of December. I'm not sure about when you guys started thinking about it, but around the middle of December when I was like, okay, let's start getting geared up for 2025. And look, motivation is something that I know many people struggle with. Like they literally struggle with motivation. You know, Jackie, in fact, popped in earlier and we had a brief conversation. And I like the way that she put it. It's like you're wondering where to go, and you're not sure, but then you have this fogginess about you. So a lot of that does come from motivation or the lack of motivation, right? So what is motivation? Well, if you're looking at the textbook answer, it's the essence of action. So if you want to write that down, what is motivation? Motivation is the essence of action. And I'll tell you guys truly, like I learned a lot about motivation realistically when I was in the army. And crazy when I think about saying that, I learned motivation in the army? Like, what is that, right? And what I mean by that realistically, right, is because as I've mentioned before, and some of you guys might have heard me say, is that when I went into the military, there was a mind shift that was changed, right? I went from being this dude that's on the street that doesn't know anything about anything to completely revamping my entire life from every situation from the time that I woke up to the time that I went to sleep. I was in a completely different world, right? It's what we call a culture shock, going from something that you don't even know or understanding and then being completely immersed in it. The point that I'm making is that through the military, they break you down and they build you up into the type of person or soldier that they want you to be. And a lot of that they do talk about motivation, right? And what actually motivates a soldier. Many times when you look at it from the military standpoint, a lot of that motivation, believe it or not, is based off of fear. Can you imagine that, right? Imagine you as a soldier having to be motivated because of fear. And what was that fear? Well, the fear wasn't anything too drastic, but it was, as we would call it, like doing push-ups, right? So if you weren't doing the right things, they'd make you drop, give me 10, soldier, give me 20. So there was a fear there that was kind of a built-in mechanism for motivation, believe it or not. At least that's the way that I kind of look at it now that I look back at my experience. But it was wild because they didn't like tell us what the definitions were of motivations or even teach us how to get motivated. There were just certain things that would happen that would either motivate you or demotivate you, right? As a quick example that I love to talk about, excuse me, my drill sergeant, his name was Womble. His last name was Womble, Womble. So his name was Drill Sergeant Womble. He was about 6 feet, black guy. I think he was a third degree black belt in Taekwondo. And when he walked into the room, need you make sure you really understand what I'm giving it to you right here. He had a presence about him to where you knew when he walked in the room. And he would do this thing. I'm gonna have to try to stand up and show you guys this. We had these BDUs, battle dress uniform, and he was pressed, like really starched and stuff. And he would grab the bottom of his BDUs and he would tug on them. He'd boom, boom, boom. He'd pound on his chest and he'd do one of these numbers, right? So all together it was like this. It was like, let's go, mad dogs. And just that simple movement that I just did, believe it or not, you see that? Dorea's like smiling and all that. We would lose our minds, like, yeah, wow, 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 wow. Right? If you can imagine. You got a group of, as I make the dog bark outside, it was that simple movement, a tug on his shirt. a pound on his chest and few words that would make somebody so motivated that would literally, we would be ready to go into battle, into war, into whatever situation it was because of that motivation, right? So I know I'm getting deep, but I really want you guys to understand it. But it wasn't so much the motivation, it was who it came from. It was my drill sergeant Womble. Now, not saying that another drill sergeant couldn't come out and motivate us, but it wouldn't be the same type of motivation. You follow me? As an example, Rita, right? Even with some of the different mentors that she's gone to, maybe they didn't motivate her as much as I do. Not saying I'm the end all be all, right? I'm not the greatest, but I can motivate. Pretty good at doing that. But motivation itself is the essence of action. And how can we become the leaders that we need to be able to motivate people into that action? That's the real question, right? Because motivation, my friends, it's the driving force behind what our actions are, directly tied to whatever our desires and also our needs. So it's what I like to say, it's what gets you out of bed in the morning, right? It's what lights a fire in your belly, makes you ready to tackle your day, whatever that day is, right? So it's not just about having the energy to go through the motions, it's about having a purpose, right? A goal or a vision that puts you in that mindset to have you move forward on that daily basis. Some people struggle with this, right? If you don't have what we call a DMO or a daily method of operation, or if you don't have that vision, you're not clear on what it is that you want, then it's going to be a little bit difficult to motivate yourself, right? Which is why we're talking about motivation today. Again, gearing up for 2025 so that we can motivate you. We can put you in that altered state of high vibration to move into the new year so that you have the best 2025 that you've ever had. The only 2025, but the best one, right? So there's what we're going to call a dance, right? So it's a dance of intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. I know we're using big words here. We might need to break out the thesaurus, but there's a difference, and it's clear and it's good for us to understand these differences. When we understand the differences, they become very clear. It gives us the awareness. When we have the awareness, now we can make shifts in our life to make those changes, right? So there's an intrinsic and an extrinsic when it comes to motivation. Now, what I want you to do is kind of imagine that motivation, as I mentioned, as a dance. And it's a dance between your internal desires and your external rewards. Okay. So intrinsic motivation keeps us moving to the rhythm of our passions and whatever our interests are, right? Right? It gives us that deep, fulfilling sense of satisfaction. The extrinsic motivation, on the other hand, is like applause from the audience, encouraging us to push through the challenges and strive for tangible outcomes. In fact, there was a small display of that just a moment ago at the very beginning of our presentation, if you paid attention. Did anybody pay attention? Or is everybody confused? Like, wait a minute. Yeah, that happened right in front of you. All right. So I want you to imagine this, if you will. Like I said, it's a dance between those internal and the external. And sometimes it's the internal and the external that work together to give us the motivation to make us move forward. So there's a couple theories that I want to talk about. One is the self-determination theory. Okay, and there's specific frameworks for this, if you will. Now, the self-determination theory, it just offers like this specific framework so that you understand how the types of motivation influence our behavior. What it really does, though, it suggests that for motivation to lead a sustained self-directed action, it has to fulfill three basic needs. Okay. These are the notes that we need to pay attention to. Okay. Those three basic needs are autonomy, right? And in essence, what I mean is the feeling of volition and being in control of one's actions. So, self-determination means that we need to feel like we're in control of our actions. The second one is competence. So that's the sense of mastery and effectiveness. And what I mean by that when I say this, okay, understand it's more so if you're new here, you'll have to kind of try to catch up. But it's like me telling Vicky to own the message as an example. Okay. When you're in the network marketing space and you know the language and you can own the message, now it shows competence, right? So you need to know what your product is. You need to know how your compensation plan works. You need to know all these little things. The more that you know about them, that brings you competence, which is the second thing that we need to have for this self-determination. Third thing is relatedness. And that's the feeling of connecting or connection to others, right? So we need to feel like we've done it ourselves. We need to feel confident in the information as we're presenting it. And then also, how are we connecting with that audience? Just like I'm connecting with you right now. Make sense? Everybody raise your hand. Yes? Everybody with me? Okay. So that's self-determined though. Now, when you talk about intrinsic motivation, this is the type of motivation that comes from within. Okay, remember, there's two different ones. I want you guys to make sure that you're clear in understanding the different types of motivation because this isn't covered, right? Hey, can anybody tell me the last time they had somebody talk to you professionally about motivation, what it is? Anyone? Anybody doing that out there? Please let me
Not since
know.
I was in college,
Okay, all right. There you go.
A lot of buzzwords are flying around, but no actual motivation.
Right. Yeah. So, and even then, though, they might talk about it, but there's not the express, like, dive in like what we're diving into right now. Right? Is that why you got to be motivated? Well, how do you do that? You got to change your mindset. Well, how do you do that? Right? It's always that ending perpetual cycle of how or what, right? When the intrinsic motivation is what comes from within us. That's what it is, right? It's driven by the personal satisfaction or whatever joy that we get for doing something. When you're intrinsically motivated, you engage on a completely different level, right? Because it's enjoyable and it's interesting, not because of external rewards or pressures that you might get. This is important for you to understand and why I want to tie this in. When I talk to you and you hear me say, be married to the process and divorced from the what?
Outcome.
Oh, the result.
Divorced from the outcome.
From the
Right?
Yeah, same thing from results.
Do you understand why I say that though? Do you understand the tie? Right? Because then that literally changes your entire mindset to begin with. And you're not out there trying to make money. You're out there solving problems. Now, when you're solving problems, that's how you make money online. It's not because you're pushing out, oh, hey, join my business. Hey, this is what you need. I can help solve all your problems. That's not how we do it, right? That's not at all how we do it. We want to be motivated enough to learn how to do it the right way. Then, based off of the social media formula that we talk about, posting the right things, or even like what Rita's talked about, going out, getting more followers, gathering our people, and then putting out the right type of content that piques somebody's interest to start the conversation so you can move into Messenger and then find out what their problem is and solve their problem, right? And if you do this enough times, I'm telling you, you'll love it. When people tell you, thank you, Robert, or thank you, Vicky, or thank you, Loris, thank you, Drea, you changed my life. It will literally change your life when you hear it enough times. And it will make you jump out of bed like I do, all in the effort to help more people. That will give you intrinsic motivation, right? But it's again, it's the passion that fuels you. What makes you jump out of bed in the morning? Because if you're not jumping out of bed in the morning, you don't have a clear vision. Okay. And we need to talk about that. We need to figure out what is your clear vision? Why are you doing what it is that you're doing? Right? Very important. I've said time and time again. Right? I talk to people, they say, Robert, I just want to be happy. Well, what does that consist of? I don't know. If you don't know, we have to find out. Because once you know, then you'll have a lot of intrinsic motivation when you can tie your vision into what you want. And the solution could be something that you're enjoying as a result of helping other people, right? So that's intrinsic. Extrinsic is a little different, right? It's on the flip side. Its motivation is driven by external factors. Like this could be working hard to earn a promotion, as an example. Maybe studying to get good grades or running a marathon to win a medal. Right? Our friend Vedra, she's a marathon queen. She wants to run. I can't even recall, but I do remember something about her wanting to run a marathon in each state. And she's on a really good track to do that. Right? But that's extrinsic. But then also because she loves it, it's intrinsic. So there's that culmination of the two that I talked about just a little bit ago, right? So there's intrinsic, extrinsic, can also be used together. So back to the self-determination theory, what this theory suggests is that people are motivated to grow and change by those three innate things that we were talking about, right? So if you can think about those three things, like having that person having the autonomy to think and believe that they made their own decision, it's a little sales psychology for you guys there, right? They need to feel like they made those decisions. They need to feel like they're competent in making those decisions. And they also need to feel like there's a connection with you. Get the tie in? Do you see how they tie in together? Okay. And it's interesting to me when I say that because it's not even so much just about motivation, but we can take it even deeper with that motivation to be able to collectively and subconsciously connect with that other person just based off of the self-determination theory, right? So if you, best way that I can say this is that if you put your questions together in such a fashion, right? And you ask them about their vision, how much are they used to making now? You know, all those qualifying questions that we talk about, even that alone is going to guide them through that self-determination theory so that they feel like they're the ones making that decision, which is why it works, right? So those are the two different types of motivation. But now I want to kind of quickly go into goal setting because there's a theory for that too. You know, the theory when it comes to goal setting talks about realistically that specific and challenging goals along with appropriate feedback boost motivation, right? So if you have a goal and you achieve it, then obviously that's going to motivate you. But I've said this time and time again is that most people don't know how to goal properly, right? Especially if they're new to the network marketing industry. They don't know how. They think, oh my God, I got to get this paid for. So that means I need four people. How are you going to get four people when you've never gotten one? Right? So you have to go back and make sure that whatever those goals are, that they're attainable. They make sense. If you need to, work backwards from whatever that goal is. But we need to make clear goals that are attainable, not these crazy pipe dream goals that we'll never make. Because when you don't hit that goal, then you don't get that satisfaction of completion, and it also won't motivate you. It will demotivate you because you didn't hit the goal. And that's what happens in today's network marketing industry, my friends. Day in, day out. They set a goal too high. They don't hit it. Oh, this doesn't work. Right? Anyone, correct me if I'm wrong. You can't because it's the truth. Right? So if we know these things, we learn these things, we know the language, and then we can, learn, implement, gather the data, and then share. Now we become that expert in our field. Becoming that expert in your field, you're helping more people. That gains the motivation. And again, it's this cycle to where literally you can be motivated constantly 24 hours a day. Like I've said this before, and Rita knows, like I don't need to go to GoPro for Eric Worre to motivate me to get off my ass and do my 5 conversations per hour. I don't need to walk across fire with Tony Robbins to know I need to get off my ass and go do my 5 conversations per hour. I don't need any of that. I'm way beyond that point. Right. So you really have to think about what we're talking about and ask yourself, what motivates you? What really gets you out of bed? What makes you jump out of bed? Like I said, and if you're not jumping out of bed, let's revisit that. Let's talk about it. Let's think about it. Right? Because for me, I jump out of bed. And I don't even drink coffee, ladies and gentlemen, by the way. No coffee needed to start my brain. It's immediately, boom, I'm up. Sometimes, like this morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, guess what I do? Right here to my computer. And then I start thinking, okay, what am I going to do for the day? It's Monday. We got to do this mastermind. Let's get this content ready for my people. And I'm automatically motivated. You know what? For you all. Ooh, goosies. I'm motivated for you guys. And I say this time and time, it's funny when I, as a coach, can see way more potential in you than you can even see in yourself. That motivates me, right? That motivates me. But you have to think what motivates you, right? What gets you out of bed? What makes you, what makes your heart tick, so to speak. There was I've mentioned this before, and if you guys don't know him, Pete from over in the UK from Now Site, he did a video which really impacted me. And I talked about it, I think, a couple of weeks ago. Rita, I think we talked about it as well. And he took this strip of paper. It was like 100 inches, almost like a ruler, a tape measure, if you will, right? Some of you guys might have even seen this. And it was from 1 to 100. And he said the average expectation of life of males is around 85. And then he took off from 85 to 100, took that off. And then he was like, I think he was 62. So he went from 1 to 62, tore that off. And then all he was left with was this little strip of paper. If you guys can visualize what I'm talking about. And that hit me hard. I was like, holy crapola. That means it's like thinking to myself, I'm 55 going on 27. That means I only got, I don't know, 25, maybe 30 years left. That motivated me. Holy shit. How am I going to do what I want to do? What is my goal? I'm here to try to change as many lives as I possibly can before I graduate the planet. So that when I pass away, there is this movement, massive movement across the internet that everybody's saying, I'm so sorry, he's gone. I loved him. I know, it sounds selfish, doesn't it? Selfish as hell. But that's what I want. That's my legacy. I want people to know, hey, that dude, Robert Blakely, he was a good guy. He would stand out. He never, like he was there for people. That's my legacy. I don't have to leave, or nor do I want to or need to leave a legacy for my children. Ouch. That might be something weird for people to even hear too. Right? He made a difference. Exactly. That's what I want to know. That I made a difference. That's it. Right? For my kids, it's all a different story. They're all grown and stuff. Daughter doesn't want to have anything to do with daddy, so I don't care. Right? That's not where I'm at in life. My clear position is to make sure I can help as many people as I can, and that when I do pass, that my wife has zero problems. She doesn't think or want for nothing. That's it. Right? So that being said, I have a clear vision. I know why I wake up in the morning. I know Monday I'm doing this, Tuesday I'm doing this, Wednesday I'm doing this. I know, and I plan my day out. And I guess what? If I don't want to, I don't have to. That's the beauty about time freedom, right? Unless I've got a meeting scheduled that I have to be at, if I don't want to, I don't have to. Rita and some of you guys that have been hanging around with me for a while know I'll wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm motivated. I get all my shit done so that I can go on and I can go play video games or do whatever else I want. I work about 5 to 6 hours in the morning and then I go in and enjoy the rest of my day. Truth be told, that's what I do. Now, don't get me wrong, I do work into the hours of the afternoon sometimes. Again, it just depends on if I'm scheduled, right? If any of my students schedule me, then yeah, I'll do a 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock meeting. But beyond that, I want to control my time, right? Because time is one of the most valuable things that you have. It's way better than money. So we need to make sure that we're using that time wisely. So that being said, going back to what we're talking about, having your time freedom is quite a motivating factor as well. But so we're going to get into these quick little talking points. And we're going to write them down, and maybe you guys can answer if you'd like to. But number one, the power of why, right? Understanding your why is crucial, like I mentioned. It can be the foundation for your motivation. And if you don't know your why, it's okay. But if you know your why, raise your hand. Raise your hand if you know your why. Do you have your why? Okay, good. If you didn't raise your hand, we need to figure that out. We need to take a look at it, see what's going on in the world, right? I'm not trying to dive into your personal space or anything like that, but I have been known to be a really great counselor. Have been known over the years to help people figure out what their why is. Okay, so the power of why is very important. Then number two is intrinsic versus extrinsic motivation, knowing those two differences. Number three is the role of goals and how they actually play into your everyday life. I'm not talking about just business goals, my friends. You can set clear goals on anything that you want to achieve, right? No matter how big or small, even weight loss, right? This is something that I've been talking about for a while. I was at, I want to say around 210 pounds, uh, I don't know, 8, 9 months ago. And instead of me doing what normal people do, because I'm just not normal, right? They'd say, oh, well, I want to lose 30 pounds. I didn't set those types of goals. I said, I want to lose weight. So in order for me to lose weight, I had to change my behavior. I had to change what I was doing. That meant watching what I was putting into this big guy right here, first off, right? Having the awareness to make the change. But then secondly, I started trying to do just 10 push-ups a day, right? That's all I was doing. I'll have you know, I just cracked just below the 180 mark, by the way, right? 178, 179. And that's that plateau. If you know about weight loss, anyone? I'm right at that freaking stupid plateau that it's really tough to get behind. So odds are we're going to probably do like a 3-day apple fast or something like that and get past that plateau and see if we can't kick it even further. But the point that I'm making is understanding goals. Like I learned this a long time ago doing direct marketing, how to goal set properly, which goes back to the things that I teach you guys when you hear me talk about 5 conversations per hour. That's it. You want to know the magic to making it work in network marketing? There's your magic right there. Do 5 conversations per hour when you're sitting in front of your computer. Doesn't have to be about business, guys. This is the thing that we really need to understand, okay? Your conversations are not meant to be about business to start off with. It's merely opening up the dialogue to find out if that person has an issue that you can solve. That's it. So now you want to take it even further because I want to give you guys massive value today before we roll into 2025. You have to think out of those five conversations, looking at my time watch, because we live and die by the time. That means that I cannot spend more than 15 minutes per person in my conversations. So I have to determine what's my motivation. Am I motivated to stay on with that conversation 15 minutes or longer because the conversation is going very well and I can steer it towards business? Or do I need to have the motivation to end the conversation because I know it's not going the direction that I need to? Right? That's the magic I'm telling you guys right now. If you don't learn anything from me, take that away. 5 conversations per hour, 15 minutes per. That's how I was able to do massive numbers. That's how I can go and recruit. And now, because of me knowing these numbers, I talk to less people. I don't have to talk to 10 people to get 2 sales now, right? That's the thing. So you guys may have to talk to a lot more people than I do. Once you get really good at what it is you're doing, you refine all these things that we're teaching you, you will have to talk to less people because you'll understand and know who your avatar is. You'll know exactly who you need to help, and you will go talk to more of those people. Think about that. Throughout those 5 conversations per hour, are they even the people that you need to be talking to? Hmm. Right? So number 3, the role of goals. I know little roller coaster action there. Number 4 is going to be overcoming obstacles. Okay. We mentioned a little bit about this when Vicky was talking. She's gone through all kinds of obstacles. Computer crashing, having to get everything back up, her health, right? How you overcome those obstacles can also help with motivation, right? It isn't just about the good times, right? It's also about how you push through those challenges. Developing resilience, which is really important, and a positive mindset is key to maintaining motivation when you're going through hell. We mentioned this a couple weeks ago. Said one of my little secrets is that no matter what comes out of it, whether I think it's negative or not, I do my best to find 2 positive things out of every negative situation. That's how I overcome obstacles. It helps me get past that negative situation and move through it quicker. I'm okay with having the negative situations because we're going to have those negative situations in our life from time to time. But you have to be motivated enough to know to change the mindset to get through those and overcome those obstacles, right? And then the 5th talking point that's really important is the community effect, right? As I mentioned, I'm motivated because I get to come in here and talk to you guys every Monday. I get blessed to see you all every Monday. Those of you that show up, and I love and appreciate each one of you guys. It helps me with community and it helps everyone else with community. But what I want you to notice, hopefully you notice, is the community that I'm trying to build. It's all like-minded people that are beautiful people like yourself that actually give a shit about other people, right? We want to help other people. That's the beautiful part about it. You all are leaders. You will be. If you're not, yeah, you are leaders in the network marketing profession if you actually give a shit about the person and you're not just looking at them as a number. But the community effect, I could tell you over the years that I've been doing this and the countless businesses that I've been in, community is what's really the most important. I've never seen such a wonderful community as I do with NowSci and also got back up. Those are the two things that I'm mainly invested in. Why? Because of the community. And because of that community, I enjoy being a part of it, which again, there's that cycle. It motivates me to be vested into the business and talk to people about it. Right? Again, key to this is going out and having 5 conversations per hour, determining your time, and then figure out, run those numbers. How many people do you need to talk to get one person? Once you know that, your whole world opens up because then you just keep doing the same thing, talking to the same amount of people. As you get better and better, you'll have to talk to less people. Figure out those numbers. You'll keep growing, right? So that's that. When I opened it up, it was only 5 minutes. But again, we used to do this for 22 hours, excuse me, 22 hours, 20, yeah, if I could speak, 2 hours normally on Mondays. We kind of shortened it down to one, so I don't want to get too crazy, but I do want to open it up, right? I want to hear from you guys. I want to know, like anybody, what's your why? Feel free to raise your hand, come off and tell me. Tell us, what is your why? Why do you wake up? Why do you jump out of bed? Anyone? Feel free to share. Go ahead, Keisha.
I get a kick out of helping people get from where they are to where they're trying to be. I don't need the pat on the back and stuff like that. When I see you get where you were trying to go, it gives me my happy place. Like I am
Person,
ecstatic because I have been,
Goosies.
yeah, I have been in front of the camera where I was a model and I sang and I did all these other things. I
Me too, by the way.
realized I realized that I actually like to be in the background. I like to be the thing that helps get the person to where they're going, more so than being the person in front going, look at me. You know what I'm saying? It gives me my happy place.
All
You know
right,
what I'm
so
saying?
internal more than existential. That's good.
Yeah. So for me, that's just been a thing. Because even like I decided a long time ago, even with the things I've shared of my background, um, my past doesn't determine my future.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I decided what I wanted people to say about me when I died. And that is the way I live my life. And
Love it.
now, if somebody does say something and it's not true, I really don't care. It's like that says more about you than it does about me. And I kind of feel a little sorry for you, but I got something to work on. So I'll get back to you sometime.
Right?
That's just, that's how I am. I'm definitely more of I'm more focused on what it is I'm trying to get accomplished.
That's
You know
great.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally.
So,
Good stuff. Good stuff. And I agree with you wholeheartedly. To me, it's the emotional rewards when you see somebody crossing that finish line, right? Or getting the goal that they wanted. Like, I love it. I've been doing
yeah,
it
I
for
mean, literally, there are no words. There are no words
the
to
best
explain
feeling in
that.
the world. Absolutely. I agree. Rita, go ahead. Tell me, what's your why, girl?
Okay, so I will say I'm very similar to Keisha and probably no different than, a lot of the people in this group. So I found out what my why was because I hated when people talk, what's your why? What's your why? You've got to know what your why is. Dad, the why. Like, shut up already. So, okay, so that was rude. Be quiet already. But when I went through an exercise that actually guided me through, because in the network marketing field, they don't tell you how to break that down. They just tell you to find your why, and you're like within space. So anyway, went through the activity and found out my why is to help others. At the very bottom, the last thing, why? So I can make this a better place.
Love it.
And part of that is the money mastery for munchkins, because there are things that they don't know and things that I wasn't taught, found out later but I want them to know so they can have a better life.
Amen. Amen. Love it. Love it. Thank you for sharing. Vicky, go ahead.
Well, mine's kind of categorized.
Okay.
I love the Now site and learning about the AI and the new technology and everything. And that makes me excited to share with others. But I really need to help others too. I mean, it's so important to me. And I used to do it way back. I used to have trainings and stuff that I did, but then with setbacks and stuff, I kind of lost my confidence. So this whole last year for me has been about rebuilding my confidence. And then, as y'all already, some of you already know that I've been able to get up and do live trainings and everything again. And I've gotten over that breakdown that I had lost, a little chip away of your confidence, you know, as you go through certain things. And so that makes me really happy. And, and it's actually paying off. I had this one person that I've been helping online. And she literally sent me a note this morning. She's got my picture on her computer as someone that motivates her to do her business every day. And so that's exciting to me. And that in itself is amazing. And then why I choose the health thing is because what I went through. If I can help one other person not suffer or struggle like I did, then I've done my job. But I really do believe that I'm on my path. I believe that it started in like around May or June, that my path opened up and became really clear to me. And I really feel like I'm on the path that I'm supposed to be on. So,
I believe that.
and
And
I'm thankful for
wholeheartedly,
all of it.
I wholeheartedly
Yeah.
believe that, Vicky, and I'm really glad that
Mm-hmm.
you found us and that you're part of the community. We love you. As I've said before, you remind me a lot of my sister, who passed away a couple years ago from cancer. So I love the fact that we're able to interact and have a friendship, and I love the direction that you're heading. And yeah, just keep doing what you're doing, girl. You get there. Thank you for
Yeah,
sharing.
I'm still working on the message, owning the message. That's gonna take.
You
I
you
work
just
on it
did that.
each and every week. I Yeah, I know. I mean, it's different in this setting.
Yeah,
So it's like it's here. I'm sure.
right.
I have confidence to speak to y'all because of I feel comfortable with y'all. So I think
Absolutely.
that's a little bit different. But yeah, I'm still over. I feel blessed that I've been given the opportunity to help with mindset and everything with other people because I do believe it's so important and it helps me feel like I'm giving back from what I've learned.
There you
And
go.
so it's just so special to me.
There you go. Cool. Awesome. Well, congrats on all your recent success. Keep at it, girl. We appreciate you sharing. One more question, then we'll kind of close it out, if you will. Um, because of what we're talking about, motivation, and we'll talk about going into the new year. If you didn't achieve what it was that you wanted in 2024, let's look at it. Let's think about it for 2025. So my question is goal setting. What's one goal that you've set for yourself for this year, and how are you planning to achieve it? Anybody? Is there anyone that's already looked at setting a goal for this coming year?
Yep.
Maybe it's something that you didn't achieve in 2024 because maybe you weren't part of this group. Haha. I don't know.
Mm.
But maybe in 2025 we can help you get there. Go ahead, Vicky.
I
Is
plan
it
to get better at the numbers as
okay?
far as what it's going to take. I mean, I hear everybody talk about it for a long time, but
Sure.
I don't have a good grasp on it. I understand the logic, but I need to make a plan. And I plan to use Michelle's planner as well because she covers a lot of that in there.
Mhm.
And so that's one of my biggest goals for 2025 is
Cool.
to figure out how to do those numbers and make it work for all of us. Yeah.
Awesome. That's a great goal. Well, I'm telling you, once you understand that and you see the numbers physically, It's a whole new world. Ask Rita. Like you literally become like Neo in the Matrix when you understand it. So it's good stuff. Good stuff. Anybody else want to share their goal?
Yep, you know,
That's what
M4M
I'm
is
waiting for.
launching in
All right.
February. So that's something that I
Yay.
looked at last year, realized that I was trying for January and wanted to give it enough time for the marketing side. So super excited about that. And I said it in the chat, but some people may not be able to read it. So, and I hate doing this, but I just wanted to say Vicky never gave up no matter what she was going through. We saw her going through anxiety and, had the passion and the drive to go get it done. She didn't make excuses. When she didn't have the computer, she was using her cell phone, which is super hard to do, but she was still on it. And so I have to give it up to her. I have seen the growth and I'm super excited for what she's about to do. So congrats and kudos to Vicky.
Absolutely. I concur. Great stuff. Great stuff. And I knew we were going to talk about money mastery for Munchkins because of the topic. Realistically, we could have gone deeper into that. We would be here for a while. But the reason I was saying that, Rita, is because when we talk about the whole intrinsic versus extrinsic and something that motivates you, like I knew that that would be Triple M, right? I knew that that would be the thing. So bringing it all together, right? We really, I guess to sum things up, the way that I want to say it is to truly engage and motivate ourselves and others, we have to strive to have balance in between intrinsic and that in extrinsic, right? But at the same time, I encourage you all to be doing something that you're passionate about, right? Do something that you're happy with doing. I've come to this conclusion, and I've said it several times before. I really do think that when we sit there and we talk about this thing that we all call the shiny object syndrome, I do believe that everybody has to go through that just a little bit, so that they can at least find something that's going to gel with them. But if you can get them through that shiny object syndrome and show them that what your vehicle is the pathway for them to get to their vision, then it becomes a lot easier. And I'm speaking specifically to you, TW, when you talk about gold and silver, that being a different niche, right? You have to have educated people that already understand gold and silver. Those are the people we want to talk to and have those 5 conversations per hour. But if we're having conversations with people that don't understand the intrinsic value of gold and silver versus a fiat currency, we need to go looking somewhere else, right? We need to think about those avatars and let's talk to those people that we need to talk to so that we can get the motivation by helping them and internally, regenerating that motivational clock, if you will, that'll keep you jumping out of bed, right? Find something that's going to motivate you. And if you don't have it, you don't know what your why is, by all means, reach out to me in Messenger or whatever else. I'll spend some time with you. We can try to work it out. Just want to quickly, as well, do a shameless plug. Our team coachings are Saturdays every 2 weeks. This January, it's going to be on the 4th and the 18th. Cost of admission is only $30 per month, so it's only $1 per day. This year, we're going to be tackling quite a few things. We're going to tackle and get into now site navigation. We're going to talk about hot links, how to set those things up so that you can use them within your conversations while you're building your business. Taking your people, putting them into the CRM, and showing you guys how to utilize a lot of that. So if you guys are interested in that, let me know. There's only 11 spots left. Once we hit those 30 members, the price will be going up to $50 per person. I have to do that. I'm not here to make money off of that. That's not what I'm here to do. But it is so that you guys have some kind of buy-in, some skin in the game, if you will, right? So that being said, that's all I got. I trust that you guys got some value. Any final comments, words of wisdom, or anything you guys want to share before we close it out?
Yes, please. I'd like to say something.
Yes, please do. I'm happy you would
I,
like to
I
say something.
thank you. I just wanted to say, I did put it in the chat, but I just wanted to say thank you again. Thanks to Keisha for inviting me. And thank you so much, Robert, for speaking with me. We really didn't have to, because I wasn't actually in your space at the time. But I thank you for that. And I thank you for allowing me, thank you for sending me the invite to the Facebook group, and thank you for allowing me into the group. So, and I really appreciate you. And it's been great because this is exactly what I needed. So
So
thank
you got some value out of today?
Oh, absolutely. And
That's
I
what
shall
I'm
be back
talking
if you
about.
allow me.
Awesome. Well, I'm really happy that Keisha invited you, and I'm really happy that you came in an hour and a half early. And it means you were motivated.
Mm.
I don't believe in circumstances, right? I don't believe in that. I believe that everything happens for a reason. So we're definitely pleased that you popped in, and I hope that we'll see you every single Monday at the same time.
Mm.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much.
I also want to piggyback off of Jackie. Thank you so much. This is really cool. It's my first time being on here, and it's got my wheels turning, and some good information to hear you guys' feedback and stuff. I'm a person that had a lot of great success as I was younger, when I had a lot of energy and didn't
Mhm.
know what I was doing, and now I'm looking at, do I really want to do all that, um, at this stage in my life,
Sure.
and how to scale back so I can be more intentional and do only the activities that um, give me energy. So,
Love that.
uh-oh, my cleaning lady's here.
I
So,
love that. And when you popped in, I got a really big smile on my face. I was really happy to see you pop in today, Duray.
thank you so
Is
much,
it
y'all.
Dureya or Dureya?
It's Dorea. It's like do re mi, but
Okay.
Dorea.
Just want to make sure I was pronouncing it properly. Really
Yes,
appreciate
thank
you
you.
popping in, and hopefully we'll see you every Monday. Anyone else? Everybody
Thank
good?
you.
Hopefully you got tons of value. Now it's next year in 2 days, so set your goals, make sure that they're attainable. Let's not get too crazy. Let's go out there, kick
Woohoo.
ass, and take names. We'll see you next year, my friends. Toot toot, love you. Bye bye.